Homo erecticus. A briefing about a man who I'm sure you know. Probably know more than you think. Probably someone you encounter every day, but no one you ever dream about late at night when you are feeling vulnerable and alone, staring across the vast plain of bed sheets to the empty pillow staring back. No, not this gentleman, who does actually have a name, but to use it would be redundant and irrelevant, for it is no name with any particular individuality, uniqueness, or poise. If I said it, it would simply dissipate before it ever reached your ear. So, for all intents and for all purposes, he will simply be referred to as the Exploding Man. A man who starts his morning just like he did yesterday, just like he will tomorrow, awakening very rested, having slept for at least 8 full rotations of the clock on his wall, the only thing on his wall. And after he's made it to his responsibly well-stocked kitchen, he will pour some of the coffee that's already been brewed, thanks to the timer he set on his coffee pot before he went to sleep. He drinks it from a coffee cup that's black with no distinguishing marks. It came as a part of a set of 6. They were cute, and they were on sale. It was a great deal, a deal that only a fool would pass up. He takes his coffee with lots of cream and 7 sugars. He drinks it while he eats a breakfast perfectly balanced between starches, fats, and protein, because it is imperative that he performs his very best at a job that brings out his very worst. After he has satiated himself, he must get dressed. His shoes are black. They aren't exactly shiny because he doesn't buff them, but they aren't exactly scuffed because this man who explodes is careful and watches where he steps. His pants are gray, his shirt is white, his belt is black, and the color of his coat, it doesn't matter, because it will only be worn on the way to work, where he will take it off when settled. And his tie, oh, it's interesting, not to you, but to him. It's kind of a special tie. He enjoys the day a little more when he gets to wear it. He spent time picking it out at a store that he would never really shop at, on a casual basis, not on his salary, but enjoys telling people where he got it, even if they didn't ask, so that they think that he does shop there. It's kind of a special tie. And once that tie is on, and once that tie is straight, this man who explodes, will lock up his 1-bedroom apartment and head off to work. And since he lives on the 4th floor and doesn't like using stairs, and if he doesn't have to, he will take the elevator, where he is faced with the once-a-week encounter, twice if he's lucky, with her, the lady of the people's elevator. She probably has a name, but this man who explodes hasn't asked her. She probably lives in this building, but this man who explodes hasn't asked her. All he can do is smile and muster a wave, and she does the same. Isn't that nice? She is so nice. But even still, the elevator ride will end, and they will part ways in silence. And he will think about nothing other than that elevator ride while he walks to his white American-made car that he bought used, but you would never notice. And on the way to work, this man who explodes will listen to the same radio station he has for years. It's really nothing that he likes. It's really nothing that he hates. It's a distraction, something that is louder than the rusty gears grinding together in the back of his brain, asking questions that he is too afraid to answer, too afraid to acknowledge. So he listens to his radio until he gets to work. He got there on time. Actually, he had a couple of minutes to spare. And so, he worked. Behind 4 off-white walls, he worked. In a space with no pictures, he worked. Just a desk and a hymn, he worked. The only identifying item is a dusty nameplate. Now, to tell you what this man who explodes, does at his job would be wasting both our time. It's a job that you didn't know existed. It's a job that you didn't know needed doing. And it's a job that you will never want. 8 hours pass, each hour more painstaking than the last. I assume he ate lunch during this time. Most people do. Everything in these 8 hours just seems to run together. It's hard to remember what was and was not done. Even when this man who explodes, is driving home, trying so hard, he wants to remember. He wants to reflect on the day, but there's nothing to reflect on. There wasn't anything to reflect on yesterday. There won't be anything to reflect on tomorrow. So instead, he listens to his radio station, which is talking about a health scare. It probably pertains to this man who explodes, but it's vague. It probably pertains to the majority of listeners. But regardless, the facts that they bring up linger in the back of his mind while he sits at home in his chair that he got from one of those outlet stores where there are fields of furniture at really good prices. Sure, they may not be top of the line, but they still look really nice. But by now, in the lifetime of this chair, it has begun to sink and form to his body. It's more a friend than a chair. It's familiar, it's welcoming. When he sits down, his body fits like a puzzle piece. It's reassuring. While he sits down to eat his leftovers from the takeout he ordered a few nights ago, that he microwaved back to life. Maybe they're still good. It's kind of hard to tell. There's not much taste past the grease and the taste of the paper container the food has been festering in. It's not important. This man who explodes, isn't fixated on that anyway. He's paying more attention to the television, spewing sitcoms that all run together where all the plots are the same and so are the fucking jokes. But every time, they still play that pre-recorded laughter. The same one they've been using for years. Who are those people anyway? Are they still alive? I doubt it. I bet these sitcoms are using the laughter of dead people. Rather appropriate, I guess, considering the people watching it are just waiting to die themselves. Just like this man who explodes, but he isn't thinking about that. He's a shining example, using these sitcoms for what their real purpose is. Another goddamn distraction. Something he can mindlessly pay attention to while he drifts in and out of asking himself why none of his coworkers asked him to join them for drinks after work. Or were they sitting at home like he was, doing the same thing? It wouldn't have mattered. He wouldn't have gone anyway. Because he has to work tomorrow. He needs to rest. Which, it's almost time for. It's getting late after all. And this man who explodes, needs that 8 hours. So this man who explodes, can get up tomorrow and do it again. Just like he did yesterday. Just like he did today. Just like he will for the rest of his life. Until the day when this man explodes.